ever had a conversation with a kid before? Did you notice how they speak without limits? If you closely look, you can see the spark in their eyes when they talk about some crazy story about how the monsters ran after the bad guys, or about how aliens still exist. Among all that chatter, they let their thoughts run free. Wild. Toastmaster of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Thinking outside the box. It is a well-known metaphor which means to think differently, unconventionally, or from a new perspective. It doesn't mean that you will always have 100 different amazing ideas. You just have to let ideas bounce off each other. So even if you end up with 99 not so good ones, you have this one amazing idea that you are proud of. Let me tell you a small story. In a small Italian town, hundreds of years ago, a business owner owed a large sum of money to a loan shark. The loan shark was an old, cunning man who just so happened to fancy the business owner's daughter. The loan shark offered a deal which would wipe out the entire debt away. However, the catch was that the business owner's daughter would then have to marry the loan shark. Needless to say, the proposal was met with a look of disgust. The loan shark then said that he would place 2 pebbles in a bag, one black, one white. Then the daughter would have to pick a pebble. If the pebble was black, then the entire debt would be wiped away, but the daughter would still have to marry the loan shark. However, if the pebble was white, the entire debt would be wiped away, and the daughter would not have to marry the loan shark. So the ideal choice would be to pick the white pebble. Standing in a pebble-strewn path, the loan shark bent down to pick 2 pebbles. The daughter noticed that both the pebbles were black in color. The loan shark then put them in the bag and asked the daughter to choose one. Naturally, the daughter had 3 choices. 1. Refuse to pick any pebble. 2. Pick both the pebbles from the bag and expose the loan shark for cheating. 3. Pick a pebble knowing well it was going to be black and sacrifice herself for her father's freedom. 3 choices. What would you pick? Honestly, I would think I would go for the second choice because I wouldn't mind exposing the loan shark for cheating. However, that wouldn't help in clearing out all the debt, isn't it? Let's see what the daughter did. The daughter reached into the bag, picked a pebble, and without looking at it, dropped it among all the other pebbles accidentally. And then she said, "Oh, how clumsy am I? Maybe if you looked into the bag, you'll be able to tell which one I must have dropped." Obviously, the bag contained a black pebble. The loan shark, who wasn't ready to admit himself for cheating, had to play along as if the daughter would have picked the white pebble. So the entire debt was wiped away, and the daughter didn't have to marry the loan shark. What an amazing way of thinking, isn't it? The daughter was provided with 3 doors to walk through. However, she created a 4th door for herself. Can you imagine all of us thinking like that creatively? In my personal opinion, I would say no, because I'm the kind of person who loves comfort. So it takes me a lot of time and effort to think creatively. However, is it impossible? No. People's opinions and our constant judgment of ourselves have created these boundaries for our thinking. Imagine if we were still kids, would we ever stop thinking? Then why aren't we doing it now? It is never too late to start learning the art of creative thinking. It can either be a question in one of your subjects, or an issue your neighborhood is facing, or even a business idea proposal. Whatever it is, let us all make an effort to think. not just for the sake of a solution, but more of a long-term one, which will have an impact on this world. When you start looking around, you'll see opportunities screaming right at you. All you have to do is be brave enough to grab one and think creatively. In this process, solutions aren't going to come easy, but maybe after hours and hours of effort, you might have this eureka moment, and that feeling over there, that is priceless. And that is indeed when you will know you indeed are capable of much more greatness. However, if you do not think creatively, the world can become a very small place. Thinking creatively expands your worldview and helps you have greater perspective on the events and happenings in your life. Thinking creatively, considering alternative options and different ways of doing things will help you handle different situations. Having a greater perspective will also make you receptive to different ideas, which also means that you won't be limited to a small worldview. Small worldview means you are limiting yourself. If you don't limit, there are endless possibilities. Life demands more of you to struggle and to explore. You've got to think outside the box to win your inner war. So open your eyes, learn to listen, feel, and see, and realize that in this life, you are the way, the door, and the key. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.